Good evening, and welcome to the final live stream of IONU Music's 2021 Virtual Festival. We are on the lawn of Chapin Hall on the campus of Williams College for the first part of this performance. This evening's performance is divided into two parts. First, outside, where we will be performing music by Pauline Oliveros and the world premiere of a work by Hannah Gruendemann called Nightfall to coincide with the sunset. After that, we will move inside Chapin Hall for works by John Adams and Tania León. And tomorrow morning, the festival concludes with a sunrise performance of the second part of Hannah's piece, Dawn. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a thrill this week to put on these performances for you and to perform live together again. We hope to see you in person soon. Enjoy. Thank you, everyone.
Hello, everyone. My name is Matt Wisotsky, and I'm here with some of the participants of this year's I/O Festival to talk a little bit about our experience in the various roles as performers and composers and producers for this year's festival, as we've had to grapple with the difficult circumstances that we've found ourselves in. So this year, I've been involved as a performer, composer, and on the production team. I recently premiered last weekend a quartet that I wrote, a string quartet called Bounce, and I will be playing a piece with Jake on bassoon. And I've also worked to help set up the stage and run the streams. And so next, we'll hear from Rebecca about her experience with the I/O Festival.
Hello, I'm Rebecca Christensen, and I'm a violist and pianist, but I've also, along with Matt, helped with some of the production, so setting up live streams. I think that this year in particular, I've had a really different experience with I/O because I've been involved with I/O since my freshman year as kind of like a week-long winter study extravaganza of new music. And I've really enjoyed having the opportunity to work on new music for like a longer period of time and to be able to study it deeper. And I mean, I participated in the premiere of Matt's piece Bounce last Friday. And I think something that I've noticed this year is that since we're supposed to be like 6 feet apart at all times, it's a little bit harder to listen. And so I've been trying to hone more of my listening skills. And so while the distance has been kind of a hindrance in that way, it's also kind of added to other pieces I've done. So I also played in the Fiola Evans piece, The Visitor, last Friday. And I think that the strings were all placed above Chapin in the balconies, and it was really cool to hear how the sound was spread out over the entire hall. And so my experience this year has been a little bit strange, but I've also really enjoyed being able to make music still. And so I'll pass it off to Jake.
Yeah, thanks, Rebecca. I'm Jake Eisner. I'm an off-cycle senior now, so I'll be finishing in the fall from New York. And I'm working on 2 pieces for I/O this year. I'm conducting Hannah Gruendemann's, the world premiere of Hannah Gruendemann's new piece, Nightfall, Dawn. And I'll be playing piano to Matt Wisotsky's bassoon on Pinceladas, which you're going to hear later tonight. And I think, I think truly for music, the pandemic has been a pretty unmitigated challenge. It's just imposed so many limitations on us. But what has been amazing about working with I/O this year is that I felt like it and the community here has been really well suited to adapting to that and to really making the best of that. And so, with Hannah's piece, for instance, I think we really turned, limitations into opportunity, saying, hey, we don't have to play this in the concert hall. Let's put this outside. Let's interact with nature, and use the sunset and the sunrise as part of our musical experience. And so I think really I/O is, well suited to this moment in the sense that people are so open to doing things differently, because that I think is a lot of what doing new music is about. So with that, I'll hand that off to Hannah.
I'm Hannah Gruendemann. I'm a composer and a singer, but for I/O purposes, just a composer. And I'm class of 2020, so I graduated last year. And I'm very happy to be doing another I/O because, like Rebecca, I did them. I guess the only semester I didn't do, or the only winter study I didn't do I/O was when I wasn't on campus. And so it's just been such a huge part of my time at Williams. And yeah, so I composed 2 pieces, sort of partner pieces, Nightfall and Dawn, that are premiering this weekend. And it was really sort of exciting in a way to be able to say, like Jake said, kind of turning limitations into something that wouldn't otherwise be possible, which is performing outside at the moment when the sun passes the hills at nightfall and the moment it rises again at dawn. And I'm really just grateful that we got players who wanted to wake up at 5:30 and be a part of that. But yeah, in the sort of traditional like 8:08 p.m. in Chapin concert experience, that wouldn't have been a possibility. So it is really cool to sort of have a chance to do something that we wouldn't have thought to do in previous years. Okay, I'll hand it off to Thomas.
I'm Thomas McGee. I'm a junior, and I'm the TA with the IO ensemble. And I'm a violinist and composer. And so for this concert cycle with the IO ensemble, I was involved with the world premiere of Matt's quartet Bounce. And I'm also playing in Hannah's piece, Nightfall Dawn. And so I'm really excited to play in Hannah's piece. I think the outdoor setting and that sort of like spatiality, and also the way that the piece is like intimately connected with nature, and it'll be like occurring simultaneously with the sunset and sunrise. I think that'll be really interesting to actualize. And then being able to work closely with Matt throughout the semester and performing his quartet, I thought that was also a really valuable experience.
Hi. Yeah, I guess it is my turn. Hi, I'm Sarah Stebbins. I'm a first year, and I'm a composer, and for the purposes of IO anyway. And I had my piece Tempus Ex Machina, a cantata for narrator and percussion ensemble, premiered last weekend. And obviously, since I'm a first year, this is my first IO Fest, and it's been really rewarding. I've been involved with like new music type stuff for a few years, and as much as I, love like weird, thorny experimental music, and I really, really do, that's almost secondary to the fact that getting a piece played and then playing someone's piece who you personally know and are like physically talking to throughout the process is such a deeply kind of social and personal endeavor. And it's really nice, I think, to have that, especially in the midst of a pandemic where it's kind of difficult to go and like find ways to be social with music. So I've just been really grateful about that.
I think I can speak for all of us in saying that this whole year has been a learning experience in every way. I mean, of course, the production side, as musicians learning to play with masks and behind the big plastic shields, as composers learning to adapt to these new mediums and composing for specific ensembles that we can make work. So I think the whole experience has been a great way to learn for all of us.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for sharing your thoughts. And I hope that you all enjoy the rest of the show.
Hi, my name is Jeongyoon Han, and on the piano is Wang. Thank you for being with us tonight. Tonight we'll be playing Road Movies by John Adams, and it was composed in 1995 and commissioned through the Library of Congress. And the piece builds the idea of building or exploring across landscapes. And as the title suggests, it's pretty relaxed and easygoing, and we'll be playing the first movement which is called Relaxed Groove. And the groove kind of comes through the piano, and the violin riffs off against that. And we'll be building on some repetitive sequences that build on itself through the piece. Thanks so much.
Hello, I'm Matthew Gold, Director of IO New Music. Welcome to the final evening of our 2021 virtual festival from the Williams College Department of Music. As with one of the festival's concerts each year, this evening's program is dedicated to the memory of our dear friend, colleague, and IO co-founder, Steven Dennis Bodner. This year marks the 10th anniversary of his passing at only 35 years old, and I wanted to take a few moments to remember him, his warmth, his generosity, his friendship, his commitment to music and to his students, and his legacy of creative and thoughtful music making. Steve was a co-founder of IOFest, and this is where I worked with him most closely. He also directed the Williams Symphonic Winds and created the Opus Zero Band. And I think it was here that we most clearly saw his commitment to his students and his vision for what music making and education should be. He created thoughtful and adventurous programs that were, to say the least, challenging. He introduced his students to new ways of listening and thinking about music, and challenged them to go beyond themselves and what they might have thought was possible. And he was always there to support and inspire them. It remains a great joy for me to check in with his former students and to see how that seed has grown, how it has shaped their lives. Over the years, I've heard from many of them that he gave them the opportunity to do things they had not thought possible, things that it had never occurred to them to even try. Working on IO Fest together in those early years, Steve and I shared a desire to create something new, immersive, and collaborative, in which students, colleagues, and audiences could experience music in new ways. The video clips showing right now, while I speak, are the equivalent of home movies, shot on a mini DV recorder from the balconies. I have been holding on to a box full of them for 10 years, and this winter I started going through them again. These are not professional videos, and they were really just meant for personal use. But they give a window into Steve as a musician, conductor, and collaborator. Despite the sadness, it has been a joy to see them again and experience this again. For those who are not here with Steve, it can be hard to imagine what a presence he was in the music department. For those of us who knew him, it can be hard to imagine the space left behind. But his spirit and legacy remain and inspire us still, having had a profound role in shaping our musical culture. Beyond his own work, he was endlessly supportive of his friends and colleagues, eager to listen and help with our own projects and ideas. At the time of his passing, I know that Steve was already thinking about new things and planning new directions for his life. One can only imagine what he would have brought into the world and the new things he would have inspired in others. Still, we can rejoice in the life he lived and the lives he shaped. Steve, we miss you and we thank you for everything you brought to our lives.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Chapin Hall. For the last piece tonight, Matt and I will be playing a piece called Pinceladas by Tania León. Tania León is a giant in contemporary music. She was born in 1943 in Havana, and in the late 60s she came to New York City and has been really working everywhere in new music ever since. She's She's written an opera. She's worked on Broadway. She has done commissions for the New York Philharmonic and really all over the world. We're really excited to play this for you. The word pinceladas means brush strokes in Spanish. And so I think as you listen to this piece, pay attention just to the way that she uses this concept of brush strokes, gestures, and also different percussive elements to really, I think, explore these instruments, like an artist with a canvas. So thank you so much.